It's Algebra 2, Test 6, going through Lesson 2.1 where we talked about relations. Study guide. First one says use the vertical line test to determine which graph represents a function. It might be hard, it might be difficult for you to see where the graphs are on this. No, actually, they stand out a whole lot better on the sheet than they do on this screen. This graph, you can see, is both here and here. This graph right here is here. The other one is a vertical line itself here. And then this other one does this. So when you use the vertical line test, remember, it can't hit more than 1 point. So on this one here, it's going to hit 2 points. What this is representing is a line that is probably going to go off real far that way and come back this way. Maybe, maybe not. Either way, though, it breaks the vertical line test because it hits 2 points. This one doesn't. When you draw vertical lines, it only hits them one apiece. This one has everyone in common, so it's like it hits an infinite amount of points going all the way down. And this one, as soon as you go through it twice, it fails it. So all three of these, this one, and this one, all fail the vertical line test. Remember, it can only hit the vertical line one time. So the only one that's acceptable is C. Number 2 says simplify by combining like terms. Remember, like terms have to have the exact same variable, exact same exponent. All we have is the variables to worry about for this problem, negative 5c and positive 7c. Negative 5 plus 7 is going to be positive 2c. And then make sure you include the sign with the term you're doing. So like this next one, negative 9d and negative 7d. Negative 9 minus 7 is negative 16d. Opposite signs, you subtract the absolute values and you keep the larger sign. Same sign, you add the absolute values and keep the common sign. Number 3 says 3 times 3y minus 3 plus 8y. Distribute 3 first. 3 times 3y is 9y. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 plus 8y. Then combine your like terms like we just did on number 2. 9y can be combined with 8y to get 17y. Minus 9. Those can't go together because they're not like terms. Number 4, we're just solving the equation. We have variables on both sides. If we do that, well, we can see the left from the right side. Collect your variables on one side. Doesn't matter if they're the left or right. Typically, it's easier to move the smaller over to the larger one side. Negative 8 is smaller than negative 3. So add 8 to both sides, or in this case, add 8y. If you add it to that side, add it to this side. Negative 3y plus 8y is 5y. You still have, and it's positive, you still have negative 2 on that side, and you still have, after this is canceled out, negative 8 on this side. 5y is on the right side, so move the other term, the constant term, to the left side. It says negative 2, undo negative or minus 2 by adding 2. If you do it here, do it here. Negative 6 minus 2 is, I'm sorry, negative 8 minus 2 is plus 2. I can't talk for some reason. Negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6, is equal to, after this cancels out, 5y. In order to get y by itself, divide by 5 to cancel out the multiplication. Do it to this side. And y is going to be equal to negative 6 over 5. It does not reduce further than that. You could say negative 1 and 1/5. It's not necessary to do that, though. Negative 8y minus 14 equals negative 2 times y plus 6. Before you try to move anything across the equal sign, before you try to undo anything, make sure you simplify each side. Negative 8y cannot be combined with negative 14 because they're not like terms, but we can distribute negative 2 to y to get negative 2y and negative 2 to 6 to get negative 12. Now we have negative 8y minus 14 is equal to the rest of that, and it looks just like problem number 4, and that just has variables on both sides. Bring the smaller variable, negative 8y, to the larger variable, negative 2y side by adding 8y. If you add it to that side, do likewise to this side. Negative 2y plus 8y is 6y, and it's positive. At the same time, bringing your variable over, you can save yourself a step, and you can combine it and undo, move this negative 12 over to the other side since you brought your y's to one side by adding 12. If you add it to the right, add it to the left. Negative 14 plus 12 is negative 2 is equal to 6y. Again, all we did was combine steps right there. Did them in 2 different colors where you wouldn't get confused. Then get y by itself by dividing by 6. Since it's multiplying by 6, if you do it there, do it here. y is equal to negative 2 over 6, which can be reduced since the number 2 goes into both of them. It goes into itself negative 1 time, and it goes into 6 3 times. So y is equal to negative 1/3. Number 6, you need to distribute twice before you try to start undoing anything. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 0.8 is negative 4.8. Also distribute negative 0.2 times 5 is negative 1, 5 times 5x. 5x is negative 1.0 x, or negative 1x. Negative 0.2 times negative 4, negative times a negative is a positive 0.8. And all of that's equal to 2. Again, before you try to bring anything over to the other side, which some of y'all try to do at this point, you have to simplify one side completely. So if you have to ignore the right side of the equal sign, do that. Combine all of your like terms. 6 can be combined with negative 1, or 6x can be combined with negative 1x to give you 5x. Negative 4.8 can be combined with positive 0.8 to give you negative 4. And that's equal to what is on the other side, 2. So now it's a much simpler equation once we have one side simplified. X's are only on one side, so bring your constant term to the other side. Undo minus 4 by adding it. If you do it there, do it here. 2 plus 4 is 6, is equal to 5x. Undo 5 times something by dividing by 5 on both sides, and x is 6 over 5. Negative 5 is equal to x over 8 minus 4. Again, you undo your order of operations backwards, so undo minus 4 first by adding 4 to both sides. Negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1 is equal to x over 8, or x divided by 8. Cancel out divide by 8 by multiplying by 8. If you do something to one side, make sure to do it to the other side. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8 equals x. Number 8 says 4 plus 8n is equal to 28. Subtract 4 on both sides. 8n equals 24. Divide by 8 on both sides. N is 3. This is showing every step without showing all of the arithmetic involved. That's not missing any steps. That'd be perfectly acceptable. Okay, all we did right there was we moved over 4 by subtracting it. When you subtract 24 minus 28 minus 4, you get 24. And then we divided by 8 on both sides. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 5 times y plus 6 equals 45. Distribute 5y plus 30 equals 45. Again, undo plus 30 on both sides. 5y equals 15. Undo 5 times on both sides by dividing by 5. Y equals 3. Again, that's showing every step without showing the arithmetic. Most of y'all, almost all of y'all can do that. If you need to put the other steps in, it's totally fine, and it's completely acceptable. Number 10, this one says to solve the equation or formula for the indicated variable. So isolate or get t, in this case, by itself. So it says s is equal to 3 times r to the 4th times t. All of that is 3 times r to the 4th times t. So you're undoing, before you try to undo r to the 4th, that's the part that's trying to trick you right there. Remember, that comes after multiplication because you work your order of operations backwards. So you're undoing multiplication because that's what's going on. So divide. You want to keep t because it tells you to get t all by itself. In fact, I'm going to slide that over. You want to keep t. So divide by everything that's not t. 3 is not t, and r to the 4th is not t. If you do that to the right side, do it to the left side. 3 and r to the 4th. So you have s divided by 3 r to the 4th is equal to t. T is equal to 2u over e. Simplify or solve for u. Get u by itself. So you need to undo both sides, or undo divide by e by multiplying both sides by e. Et is equal to, this cancels, to u get u by itself by dividing by 2 on both sides. U is equal to ET over 2. Number 12 says to simplify this one. Inside your parentheses, order of operations says you got to do this first. 6 squared is 36. So you have negative 4 plus that, and it's in parentheses, times 5 minus 2 is 3 to the third power. So we have negative 4 plus 36 is positive 32, times 3 to the third power. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. So you have 32 times 27. If you have to, do it off to the side to where you can see it. You get 14. 21 is 23. Placeholder 4. 6, when you combine them, you get 874 for that one. And we'll pick up with the rest of it on part 2.